A few more things to say about procedural programming environment is that the variables can be local to the function in which they're declared, but they also can be global. For example, variables can be declared globally outside of the scope of any function body. For instance, integer day, month, and year. Now these variables are said to be global. So global variables can be shared between multiple functions, and therefore they are accessible from pretty much anywhere in our program. In addition to this, a C programming language allows us to make structures. For instance, if we recognize that these three variables are always used together, it makes sense to put them together inside a structure. For example, we can say structure date and then give it the scope, which is done by using the curly braces, and then move these three variables inside a structure. So you see that this structure date aggregates three integers in memory. However, declaration of a structure does not automatically declares it as a variable. So if I'd like to, I can say somewhere in my main program, I'll just keep typing into the current version of my main function, I can say date today and declare it as a variable. So now, once I use the name of the structure in order to declare an object which has the name and the date becomes its type, we say that today is an object of type date. So structures essentially present user-defined data types. So we decide what kind of variables these structures should have, or what kind of data attributes should be included in them, and then we can just declare them as regular variables and start using them. So for instance, then once we have this in place, I can go and say today day equals 10, okay? And so this is an example of using a member data variable inside the structure, and once the object is in place, we use the scope resolution operator, which is the dot operator, or looks like a period here, right? So this uses the name of the structure and specific field, and then we can manipulate it as a normal integer value. The whole gain that we get from this is that these integers are always used together as part of a single structure, as opposed to individual integers someplace in our program.